What went down behind the scenes of Meghan Markle's Harper's Bazaar interviews supposedly makes reality TV look like a quiet church retreat. But if you're expecting Meghan to be subtle, the "announce me before I enter a room with two people" Markle that ship sailed way back when she started thinking the show The Crown was a documentary about her life. So according to Neil Sean, who has some connections in the media world, Harper's Bazaar wasn't just stirring up trouble. They were messing with the whole pot. Drama was always going to happen when Saint Meghan of Montecito showed up. It all started with Meghan being volcano-level mad, supposedly, because the article mentioned that she introduced herself as Duchess of Sussex while walking into a room with exactly two people in it. Yep, two as in the number that's spelled TWO, as in more fingers on one hand than people there. And somehow she still needed someone to announce her like a royal Alexa reminder. But what really made her super angry? The fact that the writer actually wrote about it and published it. The nerve. Someone documented something she actually did in an interview that she set up herself. Who could have predicted this would happen besides literally everyone with half a brain? Apparently Harper's Bazaar is struggling through the internet mess trying to stay important. Same as half the fashion magazines since social media took over. So when Meghan came to them with what was basically a Groupon deal for publicity, they said yes. Because whether Meghan's press is good, bad, crazy, or completely out of touch, it gets clicks. But here's where it gets really juicy. As part of the deal, Meghan supposedly demanded that the interview come out at the exact same moment Catherine, the Princess of Wales, was hosting her Christmas carol service. Nothing says girl power like your big comeback happening the same night your sister-in-law is doing real charity work. Originally, the article was supposed to come out in December, timed with Meghan's Netflix Christmas special, which still hasn't shown up like most of her projects. But when Netflix changed its schedule again, Meghan reportedly pushed Harper's to publish right when the Prince and Princess of Wales went to the Royal Variety performance, and Harper's Bazaar, in a moment of what's the worst that could happen, said okay. Harper's also agreed not to film inside Meghan's house, supposedly because the place is full of off-limits areas. Former employees have described it as a minefield, and honestly, that makes sense. You know how normal people let visitors walk around their house? Meghan apparently prefers a controlled tour like she's running the VIP area at a museum. The only time she let a magazine inside was with The Cut, and that turned into such a wild mess of quotes, contradictions, and weird stories that no publication has tried it since. So this time, Harper's didn't want to risk stepping on a symbolic bomb, and Meghan didn't want anyone seeing the real version of her life, which says a lot. Then there's the makeup drama. Meghan supposedly refused to let her longtime friend Daniel do her makeup because he posted a tutorial of the Paris look. You know, the one where she looked like Casper the Ghost went shopping. So Harper's hired a whole new team. Diane Kendall for makeup, Ben Skirvin for hair, Dawn Sterling for nails, and apparently Meghan hated how it turned out. Not the photographers, not the lighting, not the styling, just everything. She even complained after the promotional videos came out, which again she approved. At some point, the problem is coming from inside the house, babe. People close to the situation said that Meghan wasn't just angry. She was absolutely furious. Over what? 1. Catherine looked amazing at the variety show. Like glowing, effortlessly classy. That kind of natural beauty Meghan keeps trying to copy with makeup contouring. 2. Meghan's interview landed like a wet sock. The response was brutal. Clown emoji level brutal. 3. Harper's got revenge and pointed out Meghan's obsessive use of her title. The article painted her as someone holding onto her Duchess title like it's her last hope. And honestly, it was funny. Harper's Bazaar played her like a violin, and she gave them the music. The detail that sent the internet into fits of laughter was the dumbest part of all this. Meghan supposedly had a staff member announce her arrival to a room of two people. Even Americans who don't care about titles unless they're on Bravo instantly knew this was ridiculous. The announcement is supposed to introduce a guest to royalty, not someone playing royal to a journalist. At this point, Meghan is out royaling people who were literally born royal. Even Dwight Schrute announcing guests at a garden party had more self-awareness. Let's talk about those photos. Wow. Just wow. People online are convinced the Harper's team hated her because that cover shot looked like pure sabotage. The behind-the-scenes video basically proved that the vibe on set was "I'm here so I don't get fired." Rumors say she was a nightmare, ignoring crew members, demanding constant fixes, treating everyone like extras in the Meghan show. Meanwhile, Catherine walks onto any set and the staff falls in love with her in 10 minutes. That's why her covers look like art. Meghan's look like Zoolander doing high-fashion dress-up. Some industry smart people pointed out that the article read like a paid ad, meaning Meghan or Netflix bought the editorial space rather than earning it. Because let's be real, no major magazine wastes a prime cover spot on someone whose PR return on investment is consistently terrible. One insider even said she got the arts issue because Harper's didn't want to waste a real cover. Ouch! Netflix probably paid for the whole thing to hype her non-existent Christmas show. Everything Meghan tries to use to overshadow Catherine ends up coming right back to hit her in the face every single time. It's basically tradition at this point. She supposedly planned this whole release to upstage Catherine, and instead, the internet roasted her so hard the flames are still visible from space. And the best part? She's not mad people know she demands royal-style announcements. She's mad people laughed. The interview accidentally showed Meghan's biggest problem. She has no idea how to act like a normal human being. Announcing yourself as Duchess in a house that isn't yours. Off-limits rooms. Meltdowns over makeup. Scheduling releases to steal attention from your sister-in-law. If you don't want a journalist to write about your behavior, maybe don't behave weirdly in front of them. In the end, Harper's Bazaar got what they wanted. Publicity, chaos, internet gold. Meghan got the opposite of what she wanted. Mockery, memes, and a reputation meltdown that even her PR team can't fix. And now everyone involved is probably somewhere drinking heavily and pretending they had nothing to do with any of this. Honestly, same. This whole mess proves one thing. Meghan Markle is her own worst enemy. Not the press, not the palace, not the public. Just Meghan. She keeps accidentally exposing herself through the things she insists on controlling. And if this Harper's Bazaar drama is any indication, the future is going to be one long parade of self-caused PR disasters.